Okay, hello everyone. It's really nice to be with you tonight. Okay, so to introduce myself, my name is Jose Moya, and I am from Honduras, and I'm really glad to have this conversation with you. Sure, you just have to think about. Okay, did you ever imagine how life turned out to be right now, 2 years ago from today? I can bet that, but most of them you couldn't, right? Like the the people that you have met, or the struggles that you have been you, but you can decide what to do no matter what situation is, right? And that is because we all have an inside world, the world of ideas, of imagination, the world of emotions, right? And which is unique and distinctive of each one of us. So we all make different decisions, right? Even when facing the same circumstances, right? For example, um, brothers and sisters are raised in the same house, right? And they always turn out to be really, really different, right? There's no one brother and sister that are the same, right? So that leads us to think that there is an outside world that exists whether you exist or not, right? So that's the world of events. That's the world of outside, right? When you were not born, that world existed, and when we die, that world will continue to exist, right? So that's the outside world, right? and and there's an inside world, right? That is the world of emotions and ideas and beliefs and personality, right? And well, we depend on that, right? So basically we create the world through our inside world in order to understand uh, and take action in the outside world, right? So we have different views of reality based on our ideas, emotions, and belief systems and personality. We are all born with tremendous capacities and different talents and interests, and we can't help it, right? Because that's who we are. And denying those interests and passions will be denying who we are, and that's painful, right? So we have these two worlds, right? We have our inside world and we have our outside world, right? Only through our inside world we can make sense of the outside world, right? And what and so okay, and we are born with this tremendous capacities, right? And we don't choose them, right? We don't choose our talents, right? We are just born with them, right? um, and when you're not doing that, it's kind of painful, right? That is why we can't force students to like math, for example, or chemistry or biology, right? uh, but most education systems in the world only care about getting people graduated, standardized testing, and that is because school systems are made in the image of industrial. You just want to get them promoted from grade to grade, and yeah. So and that's not the point of education, right? But the world, because the world is changing at the fastest rate ever recorded in history, right? In terms of technology and population, right? We have the most populated Earth ever, right? We have more than 7 billion people. That's the most people we have on Earth ever at one time, right? And technology is advancing super fast, right? And we're facing a lot of challenges that we didn't have in the past. So if we're going to face those challenges, we require a different perspective, right? And I strongly believe this should start from school, from education. And I know that education is not the only solution, but it's part of that solution. It has to be, right? Um, and this is the core of what I want to talk to you about. So just as we create our own unique lives, right, through our inside worlds, okay, we should emphasize creativity. We should acknowledge that imagination is a human superpower, right? that allows us to bring ideas and images that are not present, right? So because we can remember things in the past, right, and we can plan in the future. And this has allowed human beings to be highly creative. We are highly creative creatures, right? We have created cities, we have created the internet, right? We have created laptops, we have created languages, we have created cultures, complete cultures, right? So we have created airplanes, we have created spaceships. So we are inventors, right? And we are highly creative. And all of this invention started with an idea in someone's imagination. So I strongly believe that we are all born with tremendous natural capacities and talents, right? But we have to discover them. And everything that is valuable, it's never on the surface, right? You can never find it in the surface. So schools should be cultivating these creative capacities and letting people learn and understand themselves better, their inside world better, so they can develop their interest instead of stifling them and making them feel that only math and science is important, right? There are noble pursuits, right? We need scientists and we need mathematicians, right? And we need all of this, right? But what about the arts and humanities, right? After all, we all like watching movies, right? We all like going to the theater. We all like listening to music. And we all like comedy shows, right? So, but these skills in schools are not valued. They're undervalued, right? If you're not good at math or something like that, you're just not important to schools, right? To the majority of schools, right? And yet we live for this kind of stuff, right? In the outside, whenever we leave, this is one of the main reasons I became a teacher. I don't know if I told you before, but I am a teacher. I'm a physics and math teacher in a high school. So, and one of the reasons is high school. I'm not just interested in getting them through high school and into college, right? And a lot of people that I know have gone through the education system and don't have a clue of what their talents and or passions might be, which leads them to make very poor decisions in their lives, right, and in their careers. So I believe that as educators, we have a tremendous challenge teaching students what imagination and creativity are, so we find new solutions to new problems that we're definitely going to face currently in the nowadays world. But people will only thrive and look for these solutions if they are in their element. And their element is when the people's element is when your talents and passions meet. When your talents and your passions meet at the same point. Okay, so and besides, this is important that people learn about their inside world as much as the outside world, because suicide rates are getting higher and higher, especially in young men. And this is because people don't know who they are. Okay, so, and this is a very, very serious issue, right? It's killing people. So I believe this is a crisis, and that's why I decided to become an educator myself. Okay, so, and if you want to continue talking about this about this topic, okay, so I invite you to open your microphones, and people who is in YouTube watching, thank you very much, and we will continue our conversation in